I've met YouTubers who have a million subscribers and they still can't quit their job because they're not making enough money from that.
So they're not being strategic about it?
Yeah. They're just not, it's their first business, they don't know what they're doing.
They need your course.
Yeah.
One of the things you said was, if you think you're good on camera or you are good on camera, whatever it is, and you haven't done YouTube yet, then you're 4 years too late. Like you should have been doing it 4 years ago, and that couldn't be truer. I've been talking about this for 4 years. Okay. I'm like, I gotta do YouTube.
There you go, you got one video down.
Exactly, and you were like, just do it. So, nice to see you again.
This is it, it's happening.
This is awesome, I'm very excited. All right, so what I'd like to know is I've done pretty much a lot of different things. I've written books, I run a website called naturallysavvy.com, and I do a lot of media. So we're venturing into the whole YouTube space.
I like it.
We do have a page up, but we haven't done much with it. So I think maybe we have 900 subscribers right now. So
all right.
Not very many.
First 900 is the hardest.
And then I do have one video that has over 120,000 views. It's called Pads on Fire. So I did a video a couple of years ago about feminine hygiene products and how they have chemicals in them and certain plastics.
Does that relate to your message?
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
So it has to do with, I'm all about choosing healthier products.
Okay.
So the company we work with called Nature Care, they make organic feminine hygiene products, and we set their pad on fire versus another one. Yeah, it was pretty funny. Literally pads on fire, and it has so many views.
That makes sense.
We have one that does well, but
is your main business selling products and services, or is it coaching?
So my main business, actually, it's a great question. I'm so happy you asked me that. We don't sell anything, but I definitely want to go into the selling something business. So I've always been very big on selling other people's products and being an ambassador for other people's products. So that is an area we want to go into. So love if we can touch upon that.
Yeah.
So YouTube, I want to go full in on YouTube, and I love doing media, I love being on camera, and I'm not the best writer. So for me, when I'm able to talk about a message, talk about helping people, sharing information, video is the way to go for me. So I'd love your advice on how do we really make a go at this YouTube thing, and do we sell product, do we introduce product? I'd love your take on it.
So there's a lot of different ways to grow from it. The first path is you need to make daily fire content.
Okay.
That's 80% of the game. YouTube is the hardest platform to grow on. It just takes the most time to break through. It's the best if you want to build a long-term brand, because Pads on Fire, how long ago was that video?
Oh, it's a few years now. Like
still getting views.
Years. Yeah, it's still getting views. Right? It's always going up.
It's the only platform that lives forever, or at least has a long timeline. Everything else, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, 2 weeks ago, nobody's looking at your stuff.
Yeah, very good point.
Right? So whatever you make now, it'll live forever, keep generating leads, value, your brand, but it's the hardest to break through on, where with an Instagram, it's easier to start getting some traction. So where a lot of people who are talented, who've come from a TV world and been in front of the camera, super comfortable, they start making content, it's like, oh, why is it not going? Why is it not taking off? I'm good. Right? It's a big ego blow at the beginning. It's like, why is it not taking off as fast as I want? And we always wanted to go faster. Welcome to being an entrepreneur.
Yeah. Oh, I've been doing it for 20 years, by the way. I'm very patient.
Oh, great.
So I get the patience thing for sure.
So I would think if you're ready to go all in on YouTube, I would pick one day. I don't know how many videos you can make in a day.
Yep, I mean, that would depend. So part of what I wanted to ask you as well is, I'd love your opinion on what we can do. So I'm sure I can sit in front of a camera and share information, but do we do something that's a little bit more scripted? Do we do, I'd love how you've mastered an idea, how you've taken an idea and you've been able to really become an expert at that idea. So you were saying how you could film 20 videos in one day, and I've watched your videos, and you can film 20 in one day.
Yeah.
But if it was something that I was doing, let's say if it's a little bit more, scripted, or it's a little bit more of us being on camera a little bit more, it may not be as easy to do 20 a day, maybe we can do 5 a day, right? So I'd love an idea that you would have that's in the health space that's different.
So it's not so much the health space, it's more around you. Okay. So even looking at this, before coming here, I did 8 interviews that were all 25 minutes long, that I'm not using for my channel, I'm using for others, but I could say, hey, can I use that video for my channel, right? 25 minutes on, 5-minute break, 25 minutes on, 5-minute break, boom, 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 all the way through.
Right.
Then I would normally come here, film a 1-hour podcast, which goes to my podcast, goes to YouTube. Then I do 2 half-an-hour, somebody just before you, now you, and I got the event after. So after today, it's gonna be tons of content that we're creating, right? Yeah. For you, it's figuring out where do you shine best. If you're saying, I'm not great scripted, then I wouldn't do a heavily scripted show, because it's going to be longer for you to go through. It's going to feel less normal, natural, more, reading the lines. It won't be your thing. So it's playing around with different series. So it could be series that I would look at as one, talking head. You have an opinion. You're going to teach me something.
Right.
Ladies, you need to know how to do X, Y, Z. Or I don't know if you target men too.
Yeah, both.
Guys, you need to know this.
Yeah.
Or whoever you're speaking to, you lead with a powerful opinion. You teach me. You let me know what I need to do. Right? You're a thought leader. Your job is to make me think like you think. Right?
Yep.
It could be you coaching somebody. Right? So normally you would charge whatever to coach somebody, but you do it for free if it's on camera. Right? Well, like this.
Interesting.
Right?
Okay.
You bring somebody in,
Yeah, that's a
they
great
come to
idea.
you, or you do it online through a Zoom or a Skype, and then it's, let me help you figure out a game plan for your life. We're going to healthify your life, or whatever we're going to call it.
Yep.
Right? And then they break down, look, my problem is sleeping. Okay, sleeping, you got to do blah, 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 blah.
Here's what you can do to make it happen.
Yeah, but it's like, it's the engagement, it's the one-on-one, you get the
Right.
feedback, you can see how the advice is landing versus just talking to a camera where, now you've talked to a camera, you know what you're doing, but it's a different vibe when you're with somebody face-to-face. You could do a multi-part series. So you're gonna do a 10-part series on how to make your home a healthier place
Okay. I like that.
over 10 weeks. Video number 1, we're gonna talk about what's in your fridge. Don't buy baking soda, I don't know.
Baking soda's good in your fridge.
Buy baking soda.
In your fridge, it takes away the odors. It's great. It actually is really good in deodorant too.
Perfect. Buy baking soda.
I love it. Yeah.
Right?
I get the point.
And then you tease the next one. So, okay, and in our next video, we're going to talk about whatever, your office. Okay, home office, here's what you need to know.
Right.
Pros and cons, right? So we did talking heads, you did coaching one-on-ones, we did multi-part series. It could be you reacting to trending news topics.
Yeah.
Do you have a powerful opinion on something that's in the news cycle?
I've done that before. I did
now?
like a naturally savvy minute, and they did well. I did that like on Instagram, and they did well. But would that do? I guess my question would be, would that do well on YouTube? Because shouldn't they be longer form, 15 minutes? Like, what's the minimum
I'd go
we should
10.
do? 10 minutes.
Minimum,
okay.
I'd say 8, but I would aim for
Okay.
10 on each video. And if you just can't say anything more on it, then don't. Like, don't fill 5 minutes of content just because.
Just fluff, exactly.
Right?
Yeah, right.
So, but you can usually go, I mean, you've been doing this for a long time. You can go deeper, another story, more context, another level to give more value. There's no max.
Okay.
My best video, my top 2 videos are 35 minutes and 40 minutes
Oh,
long.
wow. Okay, great.
I've done 8-hour videos at Crush, so
Right.
it's like you
Nice.
can go long.
Yeah.
But we always aim for at least 10. Like I'm
Okay.
fighting with my team. Like if Danny's making a video and it's sub 10, it's like, was there nothing else we can add to that we can, right? So maybe it takes you 15 minutes of recording to get down to a 10-minute
Okay.
with cuts and mistakes and bloopers or whatever. So how can you then take whatever's in a news cycle and make that relevant? Whether it's news like Trump pulling out of whatever environmental accord and
Right.
you want to say something,
Right.
or whether it's just pop culture news, Kim Kardashian wears fur to a event.
Or
What do you
she's
think?
giving her kids organic juice or something. Like,
Yeah, and
totally
then so
get
then how do you then? What's your take? Is it good? Is it the right juice? Is it? How do you encourage people? Even when you first came on, and said, "Oh, I gotta hide my coffee." It's like, no, I don't
that.
judge.
No, I don't judge ever. Everyone does their thing.
So but then you can talk about that, like judging. How do I deal with when I tell my friends I want to be vegan and they say what? You know.
Right.
You
Oh,
can-
I'm judged all the time. Oh, you're crazy. Or go to restaurants. Yeah. So that's actually good. Like, how do we do it? Or what are things that I do?
And that could fit multiple series. That could be a one-off. Like if you're
Yeah.
being judged, here's what to do. It could be a 10-part series. Judged in the workplace. Judged by your husband or your wife. Judged
Right.
by your
What are the different ways?
family. Is there any different? Would your advice be different, or is it just the same? I don't know. But you take that. You could take reader questions. People write in with whatever questions, and instead of it being face-to-face, you're reading off.
The Q&As.
Yeah, 3-4 questions, but it could be in advance. Because you have, usually the variety show doesn't work as well when it's this or this and this and this and you're all over the place.
Yeah.
If it's themed around similar topics, and then you have 5 questions that come from,
From that, whatever the
From
topic
people
is.
that's
Like,
all
talking
talking
about
about this.
inflammation today and like
Perfect.
questions around that. Got
yeah,
it.
and then you answer, right?
So Evan, like when you got started, I mean, obviously you've been very successful on
Mm-hmm.
YouTube. What would you recommend? You know, we have 900 subscribers. what would you recommend in terms of boosting that up? Like, how do we get new subs? How do we get our name out there? How do we collaborate? Because in the world that I come from, people aren't big on, I'm a huge collaborator. Love collaborating, and I love when I see YouTubers collaborate, and I know it's very big in the YouTube community.
Yeah.
How do we reach out to people? I know you mentioned reach out to people who have the same number of subscribers, let's say, or contacts that you have. How do you do that? Like, what do you recommend in order to grow that subscriber base?
So one, the consistent daily content that
Okay.
you're now playing with the themes. So which one works? They all work. Just what's going to work for you. Like you might just love the one-on-one interaction the best, or maybe like, I hate that. Just let me just talk to a camera. I don't know.
Okay. I love both. I love the energy of being with other people and have a podcast. I love interviewing people. So that
could be another one. Interview people, have them come on, right?
Yeah.
Or do mashups of like kind of what I do, different mashups. So there's lots of different styles.
Yeah.
What's the one that's going to work for you? I don't know. Maybe it's 2 or 3 different ones, but you play with it. So it's messy at the beginning. You don't know what.
Right, until you find something that works.
Yeah, or it could be these little challenge, funny, entertaining videos, like let's light pads on fire. Instead of just explaining chemicals, you're giving a visual.
Right.
If you like the more sensational kind of stuff, then you have a weekly series of that, right? So you figure out your content calendar, but the goal is to go daily, fire content that's 10 minutes plus. If you're serious about it. If it's like, that's too much, okay, twice a week.
As long as you're doing it a minimum of once a week, twice is better. Would you say a minimum once a week or a minimum twice?
I would go minimum once a week at the bare minimum.
Yeah.
And then aim to keep adding.
Keep going.
With the goal to get to daily.
Well, that would be the best. Even if you're not, so even if the daily means one, I'm standing in front of a camera for one of them, and then another one, like you said, is a Q&A, but another one, let's say, is a more of like that 10-part series. It doesn't matter, or should you be themed on your daily? Like, you don't want to be all over the place. You're very consistent on what that looks like.
Yeah, I would try to turn Monday into one day, and Tuesday into another day, and Wednesday is...
Perfect.
But even then, nobody is so, like, they're not going to say, hey, Wednesday last week was this, and now it's this.
Hey,
don't be so rigid.
Schedule.
Like, you don't really, nobody's super paying attention at that level.
Okay.
But people, when they subscribe to your channel, they subscribe for a reason. They like that video. And so now, if they never see that kind of video again, they're going to bounce.
Right.
If they come for your talking head opinion pieces, but then you never do it again, or it's every month or something, then like, I signed up for, I don't know what all this other stuff is I'm getting. So you want to have it every week coming into their inbox, so that even if they don't necessarily like your interviews, because they want your opinions, there's more of your other stuff coming.
So you give them a little bit of, I know, so cute.
Yeah.
So you give them a little bit of everything. What about resources?
Okay, hold on. We'll go deeper down that
Okay.
thread. So then once you're testing different series, YouTube gives you data that for each video, you know how many subscribers you gained.
Okay.
So now you pay attention.
In the analytics.
In the analytics.
Yep.
So you pay attention to the series. So when I do a talking head series video, I've done 5 of them. I gained 25 subscribers from those.
Okay.
When I do interviews, I don't gain any subscribers. So it's either, okay, I need to either fix the interview series or I need to kill it. Right? So you start paying attention. On a one-off video, you can't tell too much.
I was going to say, how long do you want to wait to use it? Like, after you've done 2 or 3 of each, after you've done 5 of each, like what would be?
I would go at least 5 for you. You have to get data. It has to be working. And it's a new channel without a ton of subscribers, so you may not know yet, right? So at least 5, it may take you 10. But as long as you're creating, it's still good content, so it'll be served up. But that's when you figure out that, but the talking head ones really resonate, okay, maybe I'll do those twice a week. Okay. And if my interviews aren't as good, okay, I need to, how do I get better at my interviews? Or is it my guests, or why are these not working out, right? So you have data. YouTube is the best platform for data to know. You talk about collaborations. I'm on the almost on the anti-collaboration train, which is interesting. I would only do it, one, if you love it. If you love it, then it's totally worth it. Yeah, if you love it, it's great. As a strategy, it usually only really makes sense if you're partnering with a bigger channel, like a way bigger channel than you.
Okay.
Because the amount of work and effort to set up a collaboration is a lot. There's finding a person, going back and forth, emailing, booking a time, you going to them coming to you, it's filming, it's tons of time compared to you just getting in front of the camera and doing something. So yes, you get exposure to their audience, but at the sacrifice of, at least how I've done is, when I made a video, I had about 500,000 subscribers on my channel. a guy who had 1 million subscribers on his channel made a video about me. And from that video, I gained about 7,000 subscribers.
Nice.
So that's pretty good. I'm at 500,000, I get 7,000, it's okay.
Pretty good.
But at the time I was getting 2,000 subscribers a day. So it's.
So it wasn't even that much. You
well,
would think he would get more than 7,000 if he has a million.
But it's the thing, like it's not, you don't convert a huge percentage over.
Yeah, it's not that much.
So now 7,000 for you is nice.
That would be huge for me.
Right? When I'm already getting 2,000 a day, 7,000 is not that big. So now it worked out, he's a buddy of mine, happy to do it.
That was nice of him too. Like I love when people want to help other people. So I think that's
it worked out well. We were both there anyway, so
just worked.
Yeah, it worked. And I'm a natural collaborator. I love it too. Like I spent 8 different collaborations this morning doing videos with people.
Yeah.
But as a strategy, it's not fantastic,
Okay.
right? I should have spent that time just making more content. If I made more content, I would get more videos out there, which would generate more subs for me.
Right.
So only if you're hitting way above your belt. So I'd be looking at, can you get on somebody's channel that has 100,000 subscribers?
Right.
Then maybe it's worth it, or 50,000 subscribers. But somebody around the same size,
That doesn't make sense.
strategically it doesn't make sense. Fun, connections, there's a lot of other ROI around it. Just motivation, just friendship, lots of benefits, but not
Got it.
really for business.
Okay, I understand.
Yeah.
As far as resources goes,
Yeah.
one of the things I find that's the hardest to find is somebody who's great at editing, somebody who gets it, how do you go about finding resources for someone like myself that may not have those connections yet just because I'm newer to YouTube?
Well, what's your budget?
Right, and we don't have the biggest budget because we're a smaller company.
Well, so that's the thing. So at the beginning, if your budget is 0, then you do it yourself.
We're not 0, we definitely have a little bit of money.
Okay, so then if you have a little bit of money, then you're in a range of, okay, can I afford to hire somebody part-time to come in 1 day a week and film?
Right.
So then you try to jam everything into that 1 day, because usually it's on a day rate.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
We would do it in a day, exactly, and then have them go and do editing for those videos.
Right, and I would, if you're looking just for budget, I would hire a local videographer to come in and shoot for 1 day, and cost you whatever that is. Below is $200 and up to $1,000, depending on what you want to do. And then I would have an overseas editor put it together.
Idea. Okay, so how do you find that overseas editor that you trust? And is it someone in the Philippines? Is it someone in India? Like, is there somewhere where you?
I use a website called Upwork.
Okay, yeah, I'm familiar with it.
So I have a weird hiring process, but I think the hiring process is broken.
Okay.
Because most people hire through interviews, and I think how well somebody does an interview.
Oh, no indication
is 0
of what,
for an editor.
Totally
Like, who
agree.
cares? Especially overseas.
Yeah.
They might be the worst. They have the worst looking resume and the worst interview skills, but they crush it as an editor.
Got it.
Especially, you're an introvert. Most editors, like, they want to be
in front of their computer. Yeah. Totally.
So they're nervous and they're sweating and then they suck an interview. That doesn't mean that's almost better.
Totally agree with you. I really agree with you.
So I post to Upwork. I lead with the mission. What am I trying to do? Because I want someone who believes in entrepreneurs.
Okay.
My mission, right? You want somebody who believes in your mission. So it'll lead with the mission. Then in the middle, it's one big, long, ugly paragraph. Not easy to read.
Okay.
Yeah, in the middle will be, so after I talk about the mission, it'll be, tell me how many subscribers I have on my YouTube channel, make it your first sentence.
Okay.
Most people,
Don't even read it.
yeah. And they submit, so they're wasting your time. 80% probably don't give me that number.
Okay.
So you're spending time reading through their profile where they just saw a video editor and submit.
Yeah, people don't read.
Or they read it and they skimmed it. I want someone who's detail-oriented. Maybe that's important, maybe that's not for you.
No, that's a great idea.
So I want someone who's detail-oriented.
Love it. Yeah,
and you have about 5% of people write back to say, tell me your YouTube channel and I'll tell you how many subscribers you have. Like, okay, well, go look Evan Carmichael on YouTube. It's not, like, a little bit of resourcefulness. It's kind of important too, right?
Right.
Then I'll tell them about the job and the position, what I'm looking for, and that I want to hire somebody, especially if it's posted on Upwork, somebody long-term, because a lot of the contracts are super short, just this one-off fixed price thing, but you want to hire somebody for a long-term.
Yeah.
You care about people, you want to invest into them. And then I always ask them a second question. In your second sentence, tell me why you love entrepreneurs and who your favorite entrepreneur is.
Okay.
I don't super care about the answer. Sometimes it's some famous entrepreneur. We had a woman say, my husband's my favorite entrepreneur
awesome,
because
yeah.
my husband, whatever. Like you read the question,
Yeah.
you gave me an answer, it's heartfelt,
Love it.
awesome, right?
Yeah.
From there, but most people, well, now you're down to 15% of people who applied actually get to the next step.
Yeah.
I hire everybody on a trial, 5-hour paid trial.
Okay.
I give them a job, I think we'll take them 2.
Okay.
I haven't spoken to them yet, just quick chatting
Yeah.
in the messenger. And if they take the full 5 hours, either 1, they're milking me, because I think it should only take 2,
Okay.
right? Or 2, they're just really slow.
Right. Which is what you don't want either.
Either way, you don't want them,
Yeah.
right?
It's very
But I
important.
paid for it,
Yeah.
but you're not paying insanely high rates, and it's better to find out now, because at least for me, I don't want to be the kind of person who has to monitor your work schedule, and like if you're wasting time or you're milking me. So somebody overseas, they have that ability. I mean, you could log into Upwork and track their computer and look at their
Right.
screen
Even
clicks.
Fiverr would be good too. Have you worked on Fiverr?
I have. Fiverr is a little, I want somebody loyal, like I want somebody on my team.
Okay.
Fiverr is much more one-off
One-
projects.
Okay, interesting.
So you
Okay,
could do
good
that,
to
like
know.
I need a new intro or something, I need a new business card or something, and you
Okay.
send it off to Fiverr.
Interesting.
So I'll hire them. Then we start to work together, and then they give me something back, and I'm like, who do I like? One, the process of working with, like, are you responsive? Are you asking good questions? Are you trying to understand what I'm looking for? And the video editor that I hired, she did what I asked her to do. Said, Evan, here's what you asked me to do, but I also made this other version that I just think is better.
You're like hired.
Right? Because
You're
like,
like,
what do I
"Done."
know about editing?
That's great.
Right? So she took my thing, and she's
Love
like,
it.
well, here it is, but here's a better version. Like, yes.
That's great. That's who you want. I totally get it.
And so,
Okay.
but she may not have aced the hiring process normally, right? So that's how I end up hiring people. And that's where I would look, because domestic editing is, unless it's like feature this something super important, is usually not worth it.
It's because it's more expensive, you mean?
Yeah, like the pricing is usually not worth it.
That's really good advice.
Great.
Yeah, no, I think that's great. I wouldn't, we use Upwork a lot in our business, but I wouldn't have thought of it for editing, because I always think someone needs to be here next to me when they're doing editing, so to get the direction or whatever it is.
If it's something super critical, then yes, but for the most part, you could train it. They just have to watch it back, and especially talking head kind of videos. Here's what I talked about. Find some B-roll, pop it in, use our intro, extra. It's not
Yeah.
you don't need somebody here.
All right, I have a final question. I don't know if you have time. I think we have
Yeah, go
minutes.
for it.
Monetization. So I monetize in different ways through my website. We've got a whole bunch of different things, and then the products too, which I want to kind of tie together. How do you monetize your YouTube channel, or do you do it through speaking and other ways?
So mine's a mix. So we'll monetize through the YouTube channel. Then as a result of having an audience, people connect with me and want to do deals. I'm not heavy on the product side, but you could be. I'm working on a course right now to help people get to 1 million YouTube subscribers.
Nice.
So that
It's very common, the YouTube B2B, helping YouTubers grow. I've seen a few of those and bought a couple myself, so I think it's a great idea.
yeah. So there's some who have helped other people do it, and I'm going to show how I actually did it.
I
right?
love it. Yeah, it's great.
But product has not been my core, but it could be for you. Like if you're doing product reviews as part of what you're doing, okay, these pads suck because they light up and have chemicals. Where am I going? Like, ladies, I think you should go use whatever.
And do an affiliate or something.
Yeah, and if it's on Amazon, you can lead it to Amazon. The thing with Amazon doesn't pay that well, but if people click on your link but then go buy something else, you still get the credit for it.
Yeah.
So if they go and look at the pads but end up buying
book.
microwave,
Yeah.
right, then you get the credit for it because you
Right.
created the session.
Right.
What I would try to do though is get people onto an email list from your videos. So after you talk about whatever you're going to talk about, I would have some kind of bonus, like the 10 steps to do whatever, your methodology, right? If you want it, free PDF,
Right.
check out this link. Max can help you build the site for that. You see that in every video, or you make a couple different lead magnets. Or if you don't want to do PDF, it's a bonus video.
Yeah,
You make
I
a
like
video.
the lead magnets. I think it's great. We've got a great newsletter list right now. We have, I think it's over 50,000 people on our newsletter. Like, not huge, but
Well, 50 or 15?
50.
Great. Well, that's how you build your YouTube audience. Say, hey, we launched a YouTube channel.
Oh yeah, we've got social media, Facebook, Pinterest. Like we're everywhere in our newsletter list, and we have a great website that gets
Newsletter
hundreds of
converts
thousands.
best to YouTube.
Yeah.
Instagram and Twitter, from social media platform to another, is hard to convert.
Okay, that's good information.
But from YouTube, from newsletter to YouTube,
it works well.
It's going to be the best version. And same thing from YouTube to newsletter.
Okay.
Because when I'm on Instagram, I don't want to consume a 10-minute video about.
Yeah, you're looking
something.
for like the.
Yeah, I'm flipping through my feed and want some quick inspiration, right?
Yeah.
It's just I'm in a different mindset. So you have everybody has a hard time moving from one to another. But with newsletter, I get to pick my time, right? You sent me something, it's a cool video. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna spend some time tonight. I'm gonna go back 10 minutes, gonna watch that video on demand. So I would definitely promote your list and say, watch these videos. And I would use YouTube to build up your list to then collect email addresses.
Kind of going back and forth. That's great.
To get new people.
Yeah.
And then when you have a product, whatever it is, then you have this email list to be able to push to say, hey, we just launched our own pad that doesn't flame up.
It doesn't flame up or cause issues. Exactly.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. It's going to be hopefully a skincare product. That's what we're hoping for.
Yeah, so ad revenue. I just made a video, if you look at my channel, on how to make money in the cooking niche.
Okay.
Picking different videos will pay different amounts.
Okay.
So the #1 paying cooking video right now is around Martha Stewart recipes. So could you make a video about 3 Martha Stewart recipes?
Right.
One of the worst ones is Rachel Ray recipes.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you talking about search when you're saying that pay the best? Are you talking about like
for the topic, how much
for the topic,
advertisers pay money to advertise on videos?
Right.
So talking about a Rachel Ray product recipe, you're not going to make a lot. You'll make like 40 cents.
How do you find that out? Are you using TubeBuddy or what are you using?
Google's keyword planning tool.
Really?
Max will know. It's the same one that works on the AdWords.
Okay.
Max will know the tool.
Okay.
But then with Martha Stewart, you can make, it's a range. It's like for some industries, it's from 20 to 30 cents for 1,000 views to $50 for 1,000 views.
What a difference.
So knowing in your industry, if you talk about this instead of this, like maybe you think, I want to do celebrity recipes. I only recipe because that's the last video I did. But Martha Stewart to Rachel Ray, huge dip.
That's great.
Right? So now you have to have something to say. Can you talk about this?
Of course.
Maybe yes, maybe no. Obviously, you have to add your 2 cents, but that's how you can monetize from making ad revenue from it. Look at the different topics that are making money. So even if you have low views, you're getting paid way more. Because I've met YouTubers who have a million subscribers and they still can't quit their job.
Really?
Because they're not making enough money from
So they're not being strategic about it?
Yeah. They didn't build a list. They're picking topics that make them no money. They're just not, it's their first business. They don't know what they're doing.
They need your course.
Yeah, it's true. So making videos that make money, then targeting deals. Ideally, you're getting paid to do a deal with a company, but otherwise affiliate to
you have to have what's that sweet spot of brands wanting to work with you on YouTube? Is it over 10,000, 20,000, 100,000? I know you're going to say depends on how much they're willing to pay you, but what is really that?
I would say at least 10,000, and they start looking at how many views you're getting per video as a starting point. It really depends on the size of your niche. Like if you're targeting, healthy, conscious moms, it's a targeted niche. No, you're not, but you don't have to have as big numbers to attract a company that wants to target healthy, health conscious moms. Right? So the broader your niche, the harder it is to attract advertisers. Right? So affiliate deals, then eventually your own product, and then whatever, speaking gigs, book deals, shoe deals, like whatever. There's lots of ways to spin it out.
Love it.
Once you have an audience, there's a lot of ways to be able to monetize it.
Something you said just before we end, I'm going to leave you off with this because thank you for doing what you do and being generous with your time. And like I said, I recently found out about you, jumped on it, came here, and I was like, oh. And when I was here last week, I was taking notes, and one of the things you said was, if you think you're good on camera or you are good on camera or whatever it is, and you haven't done YouTube yet, then you're 4 years too late. Like you should have been doing it 4 years ago, and that couldn't be truer. I've been talking about this for 4 years. Okay. I'm like, I got to do YouTube.
There you go. You got one video down.
Exactly, and you were like, just do it. And I'm like, yeah, got to just do it. So thank you, Evan. I really appreciate your time and your advice. It's awesome.
Cool. If you want to spend some one-on-one time with me, I have a special offer happening right now. Go check out the website right next to me. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.